Hello, today's our topic is short transmission line. Actually, the short transmission line is a part of overhead transmission line, which is in chapter Transmission Line Modeling and Performance. This chapter is based on subject Power System 2 in semester 5th. Now we started the short transmission line. First, we understand the overhead transmission line and then what is short transmission line. In Power System 2 subject, we have studied transmission line modeling and performance. In a previous subject, Power System 1, we studied the mechanical and electrical design of transmission line, how to generate electrical power, different types of generating station, different types of load calculation, and we also studied a distribution system. Now in this subject, we study the performance and operating characteristic of transmission line. We see the classification of transmission line. A transmission line mainly classified as a overhead transmission line and underground transmission line. We know that a transmission line a purpose of transmission line is that to transmit power for a high voltage, because the high voltage has very less losses, and also transmission due to high voltage we get less value of current, number of for a conductor area of cross section is less, so we have to transmit for a long distance. But underground transmission line maybe up to the 66 kVA we used, and also the cost of underground system is much higher, but the reliability of underground transmission line is much higher than overhead transmission line. But cost of underground transmission system is very high, and the distance between the two station transmission station and underground station for underground transmission line is much higher, so we use a overhead transmission line. In overhead transmission line we study number of features of overhead transmission line. Now in this lecture we study a part of overhead transmission line based on its voltage and distance between them, or a length of the transmission line. For length of the transmission line, overhead transmission line has mainly three parts: a short transmission line, medium transmission line and long transmission line. Now we study the explanation of these three transmission line and the calculation of three transmission line, and then example on the short, medium and long transmission line. First, in this lecture we study the short transmission line. As overhead transmission line, a transmission line has mainly three components: R, L and C, resistance, inductance and capacitance, distributed uniformly along the length of the transmission line. And resistance and inductance from the series impedance, and the capacitance is existing as a shunt between one phase of line from conductor to neutral for a three phase of line, shunt part through the length of the line. Therefore, capacitance effect, which is introduced a complication in our calculation. So, depending upon the capacitance is taken in account or we neglected, and the voltage level, we classified our transmission line on a three level: a short transmission line, medium and long. So in short transmission line, length of overhead transmission line is up to 50 km and line voltage is comparatively low. It usually we consider as a short transmission line. And due to the smaller length and lower voltage, the capacitance effect are very small. Hence, we neglected it. Now, the studying the performance of short transmission line, only resistance and inductance of the line we taken in account. Second one is in medium transmission line. Now, when the length of overhead transmission line is 50 to 150 kilometer and line voltage is moderately high, like 20 to 100 kilowatt, it is considered as a medium transmission line. Now, in this, the sufficient length is here and sufficient voltage is here, so the capacitance effect we are not neglected. So, the purpose here we calculate the capacitance of transmission line as a distributed capacitance, but we taken as a lump in a form of condenser across the line. Now, third one is a long transmission line. When the length of overhead line is about 150 kilometer up to the 150 above the 150 kilometers, or a voltage is above the 100 kV, we consider a transmission line as a long transmission line. The treatment of such line is that the line constant are considered uniformly distributed over the whole length of the line, and we use a rigorous method for the solution of this transmission line. Now we see the performance of single phase short transmission line. The effort of line capacitance are neglected for short transmission line. So when we study this type of line, only resistance and inductance of the line we taken. Here we see the equivalent circuit of short transmission line. Here is the equivalent circuit of short transmission line. In figure, we see the current I, which is a load current. Here is the resistance, a loop resistance, which is called a resistance of both the conductor. Resistance when we sending end and the neutral, both the conductor resistance R and the loop reactance, which is XL, VR, which is in receiving end voltage, Vs, which is in sending end voltage. Here we see the phasor diagram of the short transmission line. With this phasor diagram, we have calculate our single phase short transmission line. Now we see the how to calculate the short transmission line. In a short transmission line, calculation of short transmission line, first we see the equivalent circuit of transmission line. Here is the sending end voltage Vs and receiving end voltage Vr. When the current applied, current will be transmitted through the transmission line to the receiving end, to the load. So here the resistive and inductive drop are there, and due to the resistive and inductive drop, the voltage at the sending end is higher than the voltage at the receiving end. So for calculating the value of sending end voltage, we here use a VR as a reference voltage for the phasor diagram. So first we taken VR as a reference voltage. So here we see in the figure a phasor diagram. Here O is an origin point and taken VR as a reference voltage. Ready? Now we here see in the figure VR as a reference. Now see in the figure, there are two drops, resistive drops and inductive drops. In a resistive drop, we already know that a resistive drop which is in direction of current and inductive drop which is in a 90 angle with the current. So here VR, which is we taken as a reference, and the power factor of the transmission line is a phi r. Here we taken lagging power factor, so that current I, which is lag phi r by VR. So we draw VR here, and at the angle phi r we draw current I here, which is lagging to VR. So phi r. Now, in the direction of current, we draw a resistive drop IR, ready, and XL, which is a reactance. So, reactive drop we draw in 90 with the current I. So, here IR, which is in parallel to current I, and here with the 90 we draw IXL. So VR total voltage, IR drop and IXL drop. Now resistive drop plus reactive drop, which is equal to our impedance drop IZ. So the resultant of IR and IXL is IZ. Now draw IZ. Now here total voltage is Vs, and here is some drop, and here is a final voltage or receiving end voltage. So VR plus drop is equal to Vs. So here VR plus impedance drop, resultant is Vs. So we draw the full phasor diagram of short transmission line. Now from the phasor diagram we calculate. Now VR we taken as a reference. So VR is equal to VR plus J0, which is an zero angle with the reference line VR. So VR plus J0. Now current I, which is an angle with phi r angle with the VR. So current I is in phi r angle with the VR. So current I is equal to I angle phi r. Because it's lagging, so we taken minus here. So current I minus phi r. Now we get the complex form of this angle. So we get cos phi r minus j sin phi r. Here is the angle from polar form. Here is a complex form. Now Z is equal to R plus JXL. Now here impedance Z, which is equal to R plus JXL. We already know that a resistance plus a reactance is, which is equal to impedance. Now from the phasor diagram, Vs is equal to Vs, which is a resultant of VR plus Iz. So Vs is equal to VR plus Iz. Now put the value of VR here, VR plus J0 plus put the value of I angle I. So I cos phi r minus j sin phi r, and the value of Z here. We get the value of Vs. Now solute this equation. We find out VR plus IR cos phi r plus IXL sin phi r plus JIXL cos phi r minus IR sin phi r. By multiplying this equation, we get this equation. Here is the real part and here is the imaginary part. So find out the magnitude of Vs. Find out any magnitude of any equation. So we have an equation like z is equal to x plus jy. So we get the magnitude by under root x square plus y square. So here we have a Vs is equal to VR plus IR cos phi r plus ILXL sin phi r JIXL cos phi r. So here this part is x and this part is something like y. So we get under root x square plus y square. So here Vs is equal to under root this equation plus under root this equation and both square. So we get the value of Vs. Now the second term under the root is quite small. So we neglected this equation. So we get Vs is equal to Vr plus Ir cos phi r plus Ixl sin phi r. And this equation we used to calculate Vs in our example. Now we see the example on short transmission line. As above, we see the calculation of short transmission line and we get the equation for finding out the voltage of sending end. Now from this equation we used in this example for find out number of parameters. Now first of all see the data which is given here. A single phase overhead transmission line delivered 1100 kW at 33 kV at zero point 0.8 power factor lagging and the total resistance and inductive reactance of the line are 10 ohm and 15 ohm respectively. Determine the sending end voltage, sending end power factor and transmission efficiency. Now first of all find out here we see this equivalent circuit of short transmission line and here is the phasor diagram. The both we studied so that from the phasor diagram we calculate a sending end voltage, sending end power factor and transmission efficiency. Now first of all for find out the transmission efficiency we have to find out output and input value. So output upon input we get the value of transmission efficiency. Here is the value of output will be given in your example 11 kilowatt. So we have to find out input value. So for find out the input value, input will be a sending end. So sending end current I and voltage Vs we have to find and then from the sending end power factor we get Vs into I into cos phi s and we get the input of this transmission line and from output upon input we get the value of transmission efficiency. Now sending end power factor, for find out sending end power factor here see we in the figure here Vr and current Ir. So Vr is a receiving end voltage which is a reference voltage, reference line. Current which is an sending end and receiving end current. Now angle between the Vr and I which is phi r and this is our receiving end power factor phi r. If we find out angle between Vs and Vr, a sending end voltage and receiving end voltage, we get the value of alpha from the equation. So we have a equation, previous we studied the equation like Vs is equal to Vr plus Iz. From this equation we get the complex value of the equation and this equation gives us angle value between Vs and Vr. From this equation we get the value of alpha and alpha plus phi r we have an angle between sending end voltage Vs and current I which is our sending end power factor. Now sending end voltage equation Vs is equal to Vr plus Iz, we get the value of sending end voltage. Now we study how we calculate these all things which we have described. First of all, load power factor which is given in our example 0.8 power factor. So from this cos phi r which is equal to 0.8. So from this we get the value of, here we see cos phi r which is equal to 0.8. So from this we find out the value of phi r by cos inverse 0.8, and from this angle we find out the value of sin phi r which is 0.6. So now cos phi r and sin phi r we get both the value. Now here also given 10 ohm and 15 ohm resistance and inductance, a total resistance and total reactance. So the total impedance which is equal to R plus jXL. So N plus J15. Now receiving end voltage which is 33 kV. So here is a 33 kV receiving end voltage will be given. Now find out the line current. We know that the output equation P is equal to VI cos phi. So P is equal to VI cos phi. So I is equal to P by V cos phi. Here P is an output voltage, which output watt, which is 1100 kilowatt. Put the value here. VR which is equal to a voltage, receiving end voltage, which is 33 kV, and cos phi r is an load power factor. So from this we find out the current I. Now here we see the equivalent circuit and phasor diagram in figure 1 and 2. From this we get the value of VR and current I which is equal to I cos phi r minus J sin phi r, angle between VR and I which is phi r. So from this angle we get cos phi r minus J sin phi r in a complex form. Now put the value of cos phi r and sin phi r and current I which is equal to our angle of current which is equal to 33.33 minus J25. Now sending end voltage Vs which is equal to VR plus Iz. So put the value of VR, current I and Z. We get the value of Vs here. Now find out magnitude of from magnitude Vs. Here we use this as an x and this is an y. So under root x square plus y square. So here under root 33.708.3 square plus 250 square, and we get the value magnitude of this Vs. Now from this equation between Vs and Vr, so angle between Vs and Vr we find out by this equation. From suppose here is a x and here is an y, so find out angle between them. Here we use a tan inverse y by x. So from this equation we use tan inverse 250 by 33708.3, and we get the angle between Vs and Vr which is called alpha. So from this alpha, getting this alpha, we have a phi r. So alpha plus phi r we get the angle between Vs and I. Now here angle between Vs and Vr which is alpha which is equal to tan inverse 250 by 33.708.3, and we get the value of angle alpha. And now alpha plus phi r which is angle phi s, angle between Vs and I which is sending end voltage power factor, sending end power factor. So here sending end power factor we got. Now find out transmission losses, a losses which is an losses due to resistance in a conductor which is I square R. So I value of current I and resistance 10 ohm, we get a line losses. Now output is given in our example is 1100 kilowatt. So output plus losses we get power sent which is our input power. So transmission efficiency which is equal to output upon input into 100. Here output which is power delivered and input which is power sent. So power delivered is 1100 kilowatt and power sent which is 1117.364 kilowatt. We get 98.44% efficiency. Now another example we see here, based on the find out the maximum length of a single phase transmission line or a short transmission line. Now first of all see the data which is given here. What is the maximum length in kilometer for a single phase transmission line having copper conductor of 0.775 centimeter square, cross section over which 200 kilowatt at unity power factor and 3300 volt are to be delivered. The efficiency of transmission is 90%. Take specific resistance as 1.725 micro ohm centimeters. Now here in this example, the data will be given to find out is maximum length. So for find out length of the transmission line, we use the equation of resistance, which is R is equal to rho L by A. From this equation, we get the value of L. So from this equation, if we want to find a value of L, here we see, first we have to find out resistance R, cross-sectional area A and resistivity. Resistivity and cross-sectional area are given in the example. So we have to find resistance R. If we get the value of resistance R, we get the value of L. So for to find out resistance R, we have to find first line losses. Line losses which is equal to I square R. For here 2 conductor which is equal to 2 I square R. So from this line losses we get the value of R. If we want this line losses, first we have to find out current I, and for current we have to find a value of current from the output equation. So first we study this, so now we have seen how this example we have done. First of all, a receiving end power which is 200 kilowatt already given. So from the transmission efficiency which is 90%, so value is 0.9. Now sending end power, efficiency which is output upon input. Here output is receiving end and sending end. So sending end power which is equal to output upon efficiency. So we get sending end power. Now line losses, losses which is output minus input minus output which is equal losses. So the line losses which is equal to a sending end power minus receiving end power which is our line losses. Now find out line current which is equal to P by V into cos phi. Here cos phi which is given unity power factor, so which is equal to 1, and power receiving end power which is given 200 kilowatt and voltage 3300 volt. Now put all the value in equation and value of current I we find. Now find out resistance. We have a line losses which is equal to 2 I square R. So line losses we already find. Current I also we already find. So put both the value and getting the value of resistance R. Now from the resistance R value, R is equal to rho L by A. Put the value of resistance R, cross sectional area which is also given 0.775 and resistivity rho in this equation, and we get the value of transmission line length 33.6 kilometer. Thank you. So in this lecture we study a short transmission line, how to calculate short transmission line, and the example of short transmission line. And in the next lecture we study a medium transmission line and how we calculate a medium transmission line, which different method we used. Thank you.